Welcome to Commodity Analysis on Friday, the 19th of April 2013, and the free emini S&P recap. Here is the emini S&P daily chart. I want to draw your attention to this fork here. Important high pivot here from late September. Then we have the lower gap, which we're also using for this black fork. And then we use the recent high. Now, this isn't a fork I'd normally draw, but it is important because it donates a possible source of the support we saw yesterday. And let's just have a look along its center line. There is some activity. There is some interaction. But not huge correlation. But still, it's worth watching. Now, as you can see, price has rallied this morning and overnight. We've been up to the mid-40s, 1540s. And now we've eased back 3 big points and we're trading 1542.75. We are not out of the woods yet. I believe that price will hopefully rally up to test 1550 after Wall Street opens. We will possibly be looking for a long entry. Now let's go to a more complicated chart. You can see the downsloping reaction lines, the same ones in fact that we saw here. This is the black fork that we've been following. This is the reaction line from the black fork. All that energy from here to here is then projected forward into the fork at the same distance, the equal distance from here to here, projected forward into the fork gives us this line here, and we can't change it. This line will automatically be drawn, refreshed. This is a free custom indicator tool anyone can use, and we put it to good use. And that's why we use MetaTrader 4. We also have a tool for eSignal, but that has problems and that's still in development. Let's just have a look at this again. We seem to be in a position, if we can hold the low 40s, of breaking higher. Let's have a look at a slightly more complicated chart. Let's drop down to the 30-minute chart, and here you can see some more structure. These are the reaction lines that have carried price lower. Beautiful touch. 1 just on this line, 2 here. Again this morning you can see if we drop down to the 5-minute there again, but it held. You can see how these horizontal historical median and reaction lines there, a nice touch there, a nice touch there. There's the small retracement of probably 1 point, and then a zoom through, then back to find support, and that's where we are at the moment. We're working within 2 forks that I'm watching. The black fork, and let's give it a little waggle. Here it is. Now let's have a look at price activity around this center line. That's pretty mousy. That's pretty weak. We haven't been able to break above this center line yet, but there's still time. We're also looking at another fork. It's like a Russian doll. There's a doll with a fork within a fork within a fork. This one here. And that's our ultimate objective for the next few days. If price is going to recover, we need to see it up to the low 60s. 1563, 1565. We're going to look to retrace. We're going to go down. We're going to look for a possible long entry, depending on what happens after the opening. And we're going to draw these forks. 1, 2, 3. We can see we've already touched that. So what we don't want to do is get long anywhere up here until we've seen price break through. We're also going to look at this fork. And watch that supporting action. And that's a nice horizontal fork. We're also going to be watching, finally, this one. And if we see a breakdown to this center line, this is where I think there's some interest. 1540. Maybe a dip back towards 1540 on the opening, or soon after. And if we hold there, that's the sort of area we're going to look to get long. And that will be a 0.382. Bang on the 382 level. This is a quick recap, and we'll be back after the opening. Thanks now.